What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be another DVD/Blu-ray pickups video. I know I haven't done one of these in a number of weeks now. It's just I just bought something else that was really expensive, so I really haven't been picking up a lot of movies. But I do have quite a number of things accumulated since my last pickups video. I've got 5 things on Blu-ray and 5 things on DVD. Some of them were blind buys, some of them are things I've already seen. So let's just get right into it, and let's talk about some of the things I picked up. So we'll go DVDs first, because I only have 3 DVDs, and then we'll go through the Blu-rays. So the first thing that I picked up is something that I actually already own. It's a DVD. Now, I picked this one up for a very specific reason. This came from Family Dollar, and I picked this one up for $4, so is it not really a super expensive price, so that's why I double dipped on this one, or actually triple dipped technically. So I picked up Troy, the 2-disc widescreen DVD edition. This is the original release of this movie in widescreen. Now, I own the full screen version of this movie in that's the original release, theatrical release, and then I also own the Ultimate Collector's Director's Cut as well. So I own both versions of this movie, and I actually prefer the theatrical cut. And for the reason for that is, I've actually talked about this in a couple of my other videos, is the soundtrack. In the Director's Cut, the soundtrack was changed to accommodate the extended scenes, and they just reused the main theme song from Troy. In a lot of instances, when they use that theme song, it really doesn't fit the scene, so it really detracts away from the movie, and that's why I prefer the theatrical cut. And also, I just think the theatrical cut is a better cut for me. So I wanted the theatrical cut. I bought it from my local used store when I still lived where I used to live, and they only had the full screen version, so I bought that as a hold me over until I could find this version of it for a cheap price. So I picked this up for $4. In my opinion, this is the best version to watch. Now, unfortunately, the only way you can watch the theatrical cut in physical form is the original release DVD. So you've got this one and the full screen one. Now, Netflix does have the theatrical cut on there as well, so if you wanted to watch it on Netflix or something, it is the theatrical cut, so that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I'm just really happy to get the best version, in my opinion, of this movie, because it's widescreen and theatrical cut. It's the best version, and it's in pretty good shape, so really happy to own that. Finally got the ideal version of that movie, and yeah, so the next movie I picked up is one that I've already seen. I rented this a long time ago, and I thought it was a pretty decent movie, and I never owned it, so I decided to pick this one up. This one came from Dollar General. I picked this one up for $5 brand new, and that is The Tall Man. I think, yeah, The Tall Man. And this is a thriller, sort of like a mystery thriller about this, I believe, she is like a reporter or something, and she's trying to do some detective work to figure out what's up with all the missing children in this town. And there's rumors that go around about the Tall Man, and basically that's all the story is about. It's basically this detective storyline of uncovering the mystery behind the Tall Man and the disappearance of these children. And I think it's really, really well done. I thought it was interesting, and it kept me engaged in the movie, and it kept me wondering what was going to happen next, so I think they did a pretty good job on that one. And it's got some sort of horror-esque elements in it as well, so I thought this was just a neat movie, and I wanted to add this one to my collection, so for $5 I figured why not get that one on DVD, and it's pretty good. Now, this one does have some special features. This has visual concepts, deleted scenes, and the trailer for this movie. I should also mention Troy has a bunch of special features, because this was the original theatrical collector's edition, and that comes with In the Thick of Battle, analyzing the film's action sequences. From Ruins to Reality, explore the history behind the production design. Troy, an Effects Odyssey, reveals the secrets behind the miraculous special effects. And Gallery of the Gods, 3D animated guidebook to Greek myths. and then also has the trailers in that as well. So the last thing that I picked up on DVD is something that I've actually been wanting to watch for quite some time. It just came out in DVD, so I picked this one up from Walmart, brand new, for $18. So this is actually a full price release for me, and I don't normally do that, but I've really, really wanted to watch this, and that is The Orville, Season 1. So I'm a big sci-fi fan, especially sci-fi TV shows. I've watched all of Stargate, I've watched a bunch of Star Wars stuff, I've even watched some of the Star Trek stuff. I've seen Lost in Space, the Netflix series, and I'm really a big fan of sci-fi stuff. So I've been wanting to check out The Orville because I'm a fan of Seth MacFarlane, and I think he does a pretty good job in comedy. But I was also interested in the fact that it's a new sci-fi franchise, and I just really like that concept. So I bought this. I'd never seen it before buying it. Now I've watched 4 episodes in this so far, and it is fantastic. This is a great show so far. I can't really speak for the whole season yet, but I think this is a very interesting show. It's much more serious and Star Trek-like than I originally anticipated. I thought this was going to be a parody TV show of sci-fi TV shows, sort of similar to like Galaxy Quest or something, but this is a legitimate sci-fi exploration show, and it's really, really good. So the special effects are fantastic, the acting's really good, the humor's really good, and I'm really interested in all the characters, so it's a really great addition. Now, unfortunately, this does not have a Blu-ray release. It was only released in DVD, but it does have quite a number of special features. It's got a Q&A with the cast and creative team, inside look, directed by, the first 6 missions, designing the future, the Orville takes flight, the science of the Orville, quantum drive and alien life, crafting aliens, and a better tomorrow. So it's got a lot of special features on here, probably split up throughout all of the discs on here, but it's a really, really cool show, and it's actually got some inside artwork too, which is always a nice addition. And I'm just really happy with this release. The quality of the image is really good for DVD, and it sounds good, and it's just overall a great package, and I'm happy to own that, and excited to watch the rest of it. So let's move on to the Blu-rays now. So the Blu-rays are all from Dollar General. I picked these all up for $5 a piece. Some of them are blind buys, some of them are things that I'd already seen. Let's go through the blind buys first. So the first thing that I picked up on Blu-ray from Dollar General is a movie that I have heard a lot about, but I've never seen it, and people have recommended it to me based on my favorite movie and some of the other movies I like, and that is The Eagle. So this is supposed to be a historical fiction movie, sort of similar to like Braveheart, The Last Samurai, sort of in that vein, but it's about Rome. And Channing Tatum stars in this one, and I've just heard a lot about it, and I've never actually taken a chance to watch it. This has the unrated version and the theatrical version. I'll probably end up watching the unrated version first, but it seems pretty interesting. This is in the same style that I like, where there's very little CGI, sort of like, I don't like the way that 300 was shot, where there's a lot of CGI and a lot of unrealistic lighting. I'm more of a fan of the Gladiator, Last Samurai, Kingdom of Heaven, Braveheart, that style of shooting. Black Death is another good recent one that kind of is in that same similar style. So this is sort of in that style from what I can gather by the screenshots in the back and what I've seen in the trailer. But I'm really excited to pick this one up. I haven't watched this one yet, but it is a pretty good buy, I think, for $5. There are some bonus features on here as well. There's an alternate ending. There's a deleted scenes. There's The Eagle, making of a Roman epic, and a feature commentary with the director. So you've got a good number of special features on that disc as well. And overall, really happy to get that. Alright, the next one that I picked up is another blind buy, and this is another historical fiction one, I think. This one was complete blind buy in this. I had never heard of this movie. I know nothing about this movie. I haven't even seen the trailer yet. I just picked this one up because it was $5, and it just, I don't know, I just was kind of intrigued by the back and all that stuff. But that is Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman. So I don't know anything about this. It's just, it looks like a historical fantasy. On the back here, it says that it's a supernatural action adventure. So it takes place during the Crusades. So that's kind of cool. And it's in that medieval fantasy style that I like a lot. So this could be an interesting one to pick up, I think. Hopefully the action's done well. Hopefully there's not too much CGI. And I'm just really blind buying this one. This seems like an older Blu-ray as well because it comes with the disc digital copy, which I'm not actually going to use because I don't really use those ones. But just a random movie that I decided to pick up for $5, and hopefully that one's a good one. It does have some special features on the back as well. It's got Season of the Witch in high definition, which is not really a special feature, that is just the movie. I don't know why it's listing that as a special feature. It's got deleted scenes, Becoming the Demon, On a Crusade, and an alternate ending. So you've got a decent amount of special features, nothing crazy, but you got a little bit of special features there as well. So happy to own that one, and I'll probably check that one out in the near future. This next one is the last blind buy I picked up, and then I still have 2 more Blu-rays to go through. This one is a classic. This is one of the classics that I have not seen. I've heard about it, I've seen clips from it, I've seen the trailer, and I know what I'm getting into here, but I've just never actually watched the full movie, and I figured it was about time, especially for $5, why not? And I picked up Platoon on Blu-ray. Like I said, I'd never seen this movie. I've obviously seen the famous scene where Charlie Sheen gets shot as he's running to the helicopter or whatever. I think everybody's pretty much seen that scene. It's done as a parody in many other movies, but I've never actually watched this movie. So it's a war movie about Vietnam, I believe, and it seems very interesting, and it's supposed to be a classic war movie, so I figured why not pick this one up. It's got some special features on the back as well. It's got audio commentary by the director, audio commentary by the military advisor, some deleted and extended scenes with optional commentary, flashback to Platoon, snapshot in time 1967 and 1968, creating the Nam Raw Wounds, the legacy of Platoon, and then it's also got a couple of documentaries on here, which is really cool. You don't really see documentaries bundled in, especially on a single disc set like this. You've got one called One War, Many Stories, Preparing for Nam. You've got one called Vignettes, Caputo and the 7th Fleet, Die Training Method, Gordon Gekko, and then you also have, lastly, the theatrical trailer and TV spots. So you've got a lot of special features on this disc, and I'm expecting good things. It has won 4 Academy Awards, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just really excited to check that one out and finally see what all the hype is. So happy to add that one to the collection. So these last 2 Blu-rays are things that I've already seen, and I just haven't owned yet, but I wanted to pick these up. So the first one I picked up here is the 2013 version of Carrie. I saw this one in theaters. This is a really good adaptation of the original. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it did a really good job of updating the story and keeping with the spirit of the original movie. Unlike Poltergeist, which I don't think did quite as good of a job, but I think that this one is a really good job, mainly because it's almost a shot-for-shot remake, but not like entirely. But it's a really good remake, and I think they did a great job with it. And I enjoyed this movie, so I decided to pick this one up. So I did. There are some special features on the back here. There are. Let me see what this says here. It says special features: Carrie in high definition. That's not a special feature. I wish they would stop doing that. Alternate ending not shown in theaters, which is something I'm interested in because I've only watched this in theaters. Some deleted and alternate scenes. Creating Carrie. The power of telekinesis. Commentary by the director. And telekinetic coffee shop surprise. So that seems pretty interesting. Now, for those of you who haven't seen this movie, it's basically about this girl who's like super sheltered and gets bullied, and she finds out she has some weird powers going on, and basically the story that ensues from that. And it's sort of like a horror movie. It's not super scary or anything, but it is a horror movie, but it is a very good movie. I like this one a lot. So I'm happy to add that one to the collection. Now the last movie I picked up is one I'm probably the most excited about, other than The Orville, to get, and that is The Man with the Golden Gun. This is, in my opinion, one of the most classic James Bond movies out there. This is actually the first Roger Moore James Bond that I actually own. I've seen some of the other ones, but this is the first one I've actually bought. I own all of the Sean Connery ones, I own all of the Pierce Brosnan, and I own all of the Daniel Craigs. but I don't own any of the Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, or the other Lasby guy. I don't own any of those. So I did get this one. This is only a single edition release as opposed to my others that are kind of collections. But is basically just a repackage of this 50th anniversary disc. So basically anything that was on the 50th anniversary release of this is in here, just in a single volume. It's one of my favorite James Bond movies. It's a classic. You've got the Man with the Golden Gun. There's a lot of other villains in here, like Jaws, and it's just really, really well done. There's some special features on here as well, and you have a commentary with Roger Moore, which is really cool because you don't often get commentaries with the lead actor. You got commentary with the cast and the crew and the director. You have interviews with the director and the stunt coordinator. You've got 00 Stuntmen, a look at the greatest stunts in the Bond films, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if they're going to look at other stunts in other James Bond movies or just this movie itself. Inside the Man with the Golden Gun, an original documentary, so there is a documentary on here as well. Original theatrical trailers, TV, and radio spots. Interesting that they added the radio spots. I think that's a cool addition as well. And then you also have an interactive guide, additional featurettes, and more, which I wonder what that really means. I'm guessing some of the other featurettes is just like subtitles and other various DVD interactive things. So really, really cool to have that one. It's one of my favorite James Bond movies. GoldenEye is still my favorite, but this is a really good one as well. So happy to own that one in the collection. And that is everything that I picked up. I think I got a pretty good spread here, and I didn't really pay that much for any of this other than the Orville. So this was everything that I picked up. Got a good collection of stuff here. Got some horror, got some historical stuff, got some fantasy, got some spy thrillers and some sci-fi. It's a lot of stuff that I picked up. So let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. I'm really happy to get everything that I have here. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comment box below. I try to read and respond to all of my comments. If you just want to talk about any of the movies that I got and tell me your opinions, that's cool too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.